In 1888, John Simon Fluor Sr., a Swiss carpenter and better known to his friends and family as Cy, immigrates to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, to start a career in construction with his brothers. His contribution to the enterprise is $100. In 1900, Cy, his wife, and 5 children make their way to California. 1912 is a milestone year for Cy Fluor. He opens the doors to the Fluor Construction Company. 1915 marks Fluor's first major construction project in the oil and gas industry, as it's awarded a contract from the Southern California Gas Company to build a new office and several meter shops. Things are about to get a lot busier in the oil and gas business. In 1919, oil becomes increasingly more important in California, and Fluor is in a perfect position to reap the rewards as it begins building a compressor station for the Industrial Fuel Supply Company. Fluor designs and constructs the first Buddha cooling tower in 1921. The Buddha Tower sets a new standard in the oil and gas industry for water cooling efficiency, and Fluor becomes the industry expert. In 1924, Fluor's employee base reaches 100, and the company is incorporated. Fluor builds its first complete gas plant for the Sandoma Gas Company in 1925. In 1933, Fluor receives its first overseas contract to take its cooling tower expertise into the Persian Gulf.
Throughout the Depression,
1933 also brings home the effects of the Great Depression, as Fluor family members often mortgage their own homes in order to meet payroll. But business is about to pick up again. As World War II begins, the military is thirsty for high-octane gasoline, and Fluor-constructed plants supply 30% of the fuel needed for the war effort. In 1944, John Simon Fluor Sr. passes away, but he leaves the company he started in good hands as his son Peter becomes Fluor's second president. 1947 is a banner year for Fluor, as it receives a major overseas assignment to build a significant expansion of the Aramco facilities in Saudi Arabia. In 1951, Fluor introduces the use of scale models in construction design. The technique becomes the industry standard for decades to come. The Fluor Foundation is established in 1952 in order to provide corporate contributions to charitable, education, and civic causes. Fluor stock becomes available on the New York Stock Exchange in 1957. In 1961, Fluor wins the contract to build the Titan II missile complex near Tucson, Arizona. In 1965, Fluor engineers and constructs the world's first all-hydrogen refinery in Kuwait. 1967 finds Fluor diversifying into the offshore drilling and construction business with Fluor Ocean Services. In 1972, Fluor is selected to design and build the mainline pumping stations and the Valdez terminal for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. In 1975, Fluor signs its largest contract to date when it's awarded a $5 billion project from Aramco in Saudi Arabia. 1977 is the year 2 great companies come together. Fluor acquires Daniel International. The acquisition of Daniel is widely considered to be one of the most important moves in company history and sets the stage for dynamic growth across a number of new market segments. In 1979, Fluor constructs the first large-scale commercial liquid fuels from coal plant known as Sasol 2 in South Africa. In 1981, Fluor makes the largest acquisition in U.S. corporate history. It buys St. Joe Minerals Corporation, which will test the company's mettle as natural resource prices plummet. Fluor is required to slash expenses and pursue new strategies to ensure the company's long-term success. In 1985, Fluor begins a 25-plus-year relationship with TXU and Luminant, servicing existing power plants and building new ones. In 1986, Fluor and Daniel are fully consolidated into a single company, becoming Fluor Daniel Incorporated. 1989 sees Fluor embark on the design and construction of Minera Escondida, one of the world's largest copper mines located high in the Atacama Desert of Chile. In 1990, Fluor is awarded a major contract from Aramco in Saudi Arabia, just as the first Gulf War begins. When given the option to leave the project due to the impending war, not one Fluor employee chooses to depart.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The Cold War comes to an end, and in 1992, the Department of Energy awards Fluor the company's first environmental cleanup contract, a $4 billion cleanup at the former Fernald Uranium Production Complex in Ohio. In 1993, Fluor trains more than 14,000 indigenous workers to help build the Rayong refinery for Shell in Thailand. In 2001, Fluor consolidates all its subsidiaries under one roof with a new name and logo, becoming Fluor Corporation.
Today, Category 5 hurricanes.
After Hurricanes Katrina and Rita devastate the U.S. Gulf Coast in 2005, Fluor mobilizes 4,500 workers to support the U.S. government's efforts to assist victims of the hurricane's wrath. 2005 is also the year a Fluor joint venture is awarded the task of rebuilding the subway and train transportation hub in New York City that was destroyed on 9/11. In 2006, Fluor and its partner are awarded a contract by Caltrans to rebuild the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Also in 2006, Fluor relocates its global headquarters from Southern California to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. In 2007, Fluor is contracted by LDK Solar to build the world's largest polysilicon plant in China. That same year, Fluor wins a contract from the U.S. Department of Defense to provide logistics and support to U.S. military operations on the ground in Afghanistan. Today, April 21, 2012, marks the centennial of the company Cy Fluor started 100 years ago. We are one. We are 100.